fun day. I've had bad luck pretty much all day, which is weird because yesterday I felt like the universe was like really on my side, and today it was like, no thank you. Couldn't finish my job, which means I had less time, which means I don't get paid more. I couldn't concentrate on the book that I was trying to read, and then someone hit my vehicle that I was in, and then I was so excited because I've been waiting on the casting of Frank Stone to come out. Me and my friend were gonna play together, but then my stream was acting dumb, so I didn't get to really stream. But my TBR for the rest of the magical readathon picked out. So you know what? Let's talk about that. I realized kind of late that there was one prompt for the spring semester I didn't finish. Author who blurbed your last 5-star read. The last 5-star read I had was The Cruel Prince. The blurb I could find physically on the book was from Leigh Bardugo, and I've read pretty much everything by Leigh Bardugo, and I'm not ready for a reread. Don't remember reading Demon in the Wood. I feel like I read this, but I don't remember reading this, so it's a graphic novel, and I feel like it will be quick, and this does take place in the Grisha world, which I'm gonna call the Greg world. Once we're done that, I will be done the spring semester and be able to move on. The next one, for those who don't know, I'm doing the Feywild Cartographer. That means I have to pass elemental studies, so I have to read something that has my favorite sin on the cover. I'm going with The Longest Autumn for this. I love the smell of fall. Like dead leaves, and just like that crisp autumn air. Something about it is just different. Of like the different scents that are associated with autumn. Animal Studies, Phoenix on the cover. I had such a hard time trying to find something. I don't think I own anything, and I was originally gonna have my cat, whose name is Phoenix, just sit on the book while I read it. Don't mind. My friend Keisha said that she was reading called Phoenix Crown, which is based in the 1920s, which is one of my favorite time periods to read in. Astronomy, Releasing Your Birth Month, I'm gonna read We Used to Live Here. I'm actually reading for Gabby's book troop book club discussion with her and Ashley for this month. And then because I originally had this on my spring TBR, I said I was going to make this into my autumn TBR, Tipicity as an emotional read. I don't know why. Apparently I just didn't read the synopsis of this. I just knew it was about a heist, but I started it and it has vampires? Why didn't I get to this sooner? Vampires? The quote in the beginning, it's like, all the best love stories start with a knife. And I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna love this shit, aren't I? Everyone on the train is a suspect. For some reason I said, you know what would be fun if I highlighted every single time a person is named. I'll take you through this highlighting process at some point. Silent Patient, because I need something that has my name in it. It was really hard to find Allie, weirdly enough. Really mixed things about this, and so I'm intrigued. I need you, a non-reader, to pick me a book. When's the last time you read a book?
Oh no.
Okay, well I need you to pick a book for me. Most of the ones that are turned around, I've read. You got these, and then there's that one over there as well, and then some down there, and then also the cart.
Have you read Game of Thrones?
You can't make me do that.
Why?
Is that really what you're gonna make me pick?
Are they even gonna put out another book?
I don't know. George R. R. Martin's too busy making Elden Ring games. Those the two that you're picking? Then give it to Frankie. Our second non-reader has entered the game.
Stay. Release. You're a little early.
To be fair, she eyed that one first. I don't even think she noticed there was one on the other one. Grown as the official. Ooh, look, you snotted right on her mouth. Looks like she's been drooling. Goodness gracious. Grown, the one that Brian and Frankie chose for me. That is my TBR pretty much for the month. I'm hoping I can finish some of them early because there are some things I would like to read before October. It's been a day. I decided to start Everyone on this Train is a Suspect because I'm just in the mood, and they're so fun. They're like trying to solve a little mystery, and part of me wants to pull out a little notepad and take little notes, and I kind of wish I had a hard copy to do that in, and maybe I will. Maybe I will, possibly. So sometimes I like to go back and do that after I've read something. Is that weird? I don't know. It's so fun, but how weird. This is the second book that I am reading within this month where some author gets a 1-star review from someone, and it's like a catalyst for something. How weird is that? I don't know. This is the accidental theme, I guess. The only bad part about like driving for a job is that I have so many like thoughts that pop into my head, and I do carry a notebook, but it's like some parts of my drive are pretty long, and it's like trying to remember between one destination to the other to write it down in my idea notebook. That's a side quip. Anyway, I'm gonna get back to listening because it's so good. It's so good so far. I'm having a little trouble keeping track of the characters because I don't have a notebook and pen, but I'll get there. I'll get there. I started and finished We Used to Live Here. What an exhausting read, can I just say? The mental gymnastics I felt like I was doing at times. This is the Book Troop's book club pick for the month, so to get my full thoughts and feelings, I will be talking about that on Gabby's channel later this month. Now, I'm just going to tell you that this is essentially about, we follow from the point of view of a woman in this couple who have just bought this old house. Family shows up. It's a dad, a mom, and 3 kids. In the middle of like a snowstorm, the dad's like, I used to live here and I would love to give my kids a tour of the house. And she's like, I don't really know about that. And she feels kind of bad. You can tell that she has a lot of like anxiety, a little bit of like paranoia maybe. She eventually gives in. She's a bit of a people pleaser and she's like, okay, I guess. They clearly overstay for a variety of reasons, and then the character starts to like unravel a little bit. Not only herself, because this whole family's making her anxious and the snow is keeping them there, and like there's something off about them, but also like unraveling kind of the mysteries of this house. I thought I knew where this was going at times, but oh boy, was I not completely correct. There are some like weird parts in the audio, and I've been waiting for my physical copy to come in from the library. It seems like there might be mixed media and maybe some things that go along with it that I would like to see at some point to maybe better understand, because at times I was like, I don't really understand why this is here. I mean, I did by the end, but I think it would have been a little bit more helpful to have physical version of that. I'm not going to tell you my star rating. I did fly through it mostly because I was like, what in the hickety heck is happening? Not at the like the very end, but right as we were like heading into the end and getting into like the last bit of the book, I was like, I don't know at this point what's real and what's not. Like, I don't know. But I was just like, whoa, what is going on? Anyway, so after I finished that, I started The Longest Autumn. Let me go get it. Let's go look at it, because it's a gorgeous book. Listening to it, and this really sets it up much differently than I was expecting. Basically, our main character is actually, she is like a chosen one by the autumn god, and each god has a chosen mortal who does duties like in the mortal world, and every once in a while they get to go to the god realm. So she goes to the god realm to do her duty. She is like the person who helps move the dead from the mortal world into the underworld, essentially. And she goes to perform the ceremony that she's done before. She goes to perform the ceremony that basically moves summer into fall for the mortal world. And something goes incredibly wrong. And now she is being kept in the god world, at least to the part that I'm at, for investigation. And she has no clue what's going on. So it's a bit of a mystery, and I'm enjoying it so far. I like that there's a lot of info to take in at the beginning, but it doesn't feel info dumpy because the author has done a good job of like weaving the information in. So I'm enjoying this. It is a bit of a slower pace. I need to know what happened to our poor girl. That's where I'm at with that. It's Sunday, which normally means a co-working stream for me. And while I'm streaming, I gotta go do some things. So sometimes I step away. And I'm trying to figure out how to show it on stream. But for now, we're gonna vlog the things that I'm doing. There, Miss Tippy Tabby. So I'm gonna go water my plants right now. I'm gonna take you with me. I'm gonna quickly show you some of my new babies who are doing pretty well. This one, my Thai constellation, it came a little damaged. We've been working on doing better. Unfortunately, these need pretty strong light, but because of where it was grown, I haven't put it in strong light just yet. This one, it's a neon something, I feel like. Some sort of like philodendron. So it will try to climb. It is producing new things for me, but it definitely needs more light. Anything that's more of this like neon color or has white in it needs a bit more to grow. This baby also doing pretty well. Hasn't given me a lot of growth just yet, but she looking cute. We're getting a new baby on this bad boy. She's so cute. Another one. This one comes in like kind of red, as you'll see. This one is new. This one is coming in. She's doing great. Look at her. Oh my gosh. We're working on it. I think she needs really cleaned off. She's got a lot of hard watermarks. Not for me. But look at that. It's doing so well. I'm here. We're going to do my weekly meds. One of the recent problems that's been happening when I upload things to YouTube, they're taking like 10 times as long as they used to. When I tried to upload my haul video the other day, it took over 15 hours. And so I'm not hitting days that I want to be posting at this moment. And I wanted to post a vlog yesterday and it's been over 24 hours. I think it's been upwards of like 27 hours now. It's like stuck at 57%. I'm gonna try to transfer some shit and see if we can get it uploaded, but y'all need to know this, that I'm having issues. The universe said, you wanna be a full-time content creator? Fuck you. We're gonna give you obstacle after obstacle after obstacle on your first official week. We will persevere though. Stream is over. It was a pretty long one, a little over 6 hours, I think. But we got a lot done today. We did co-working and we got a lot done. I started Tempest and Tea, the physical, because the audio I tried 3 different times and something about the audio just made me not want to listen at all. And I don't understand. It wasn't a bad audio. Something about it just made me space out. I think I'm going to attempt to re-put up the lights and the vines, my bookshelves. And they're all wrapped up and they're all tangled and I don't feel like this is going to be a good time. But I think I'm going to listen to The Silent Patient or I'll continue The Longest Autumn. I feel like The Silent Patient I'll need to not focus on as much as The Longest Autumn.
Terry gave me a critical look. I wasn't happy, but I was in denial handling in order to retain her audience's sympathy. Beautiful, exquisite, an angel.
Does anything beat this view? The Silent Patient. I'm hooked. I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty hooked. I'm not super far. I mean, I'm probably decently far in. About 100 pages in. I'm not really sure where it's going. I have some ideas, but I've heard so many people that are like, you'll never see it coming. I'm enjoying it so far. Probably finish it tomorrow, and then I will continue The Longest Autumn, as well as Tempest of Tea. Well, I have finished 2 books at this point, and only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more to go. To be fair, Demon in the Wood wasn't part of this TBR, technically. I would like to finish these by the middle of next week. That sounds crazy. That sounds crazy, Allie. To the reveal in The Silent Patient, I think, but there's still like an hour and a half left in the book, and I think that's with going at a faster speed. I've been trying to pick up on things, and I will say this is one of those thrillers where I don't know if if we haven't been given enough evidence so far or information so far for me to like piece it together, because normally I'm pretty good at piecing these things together. I kind of hate when thrillers do that, when they don't really give you anything to work with to try to piece it together, because then at the end I'm kind of like, that's convenient, or like, that doesn't really make a whole lot of sense compared to the details that we've had so far. I don't know. I don't really know what to expect going into this, and I feel like both the narrators are a bit unreliable. And it's really hard to guess when every single person is giving a different story, essentially, and a different point of view that like doesn't match up to anything else. And it's like, are they all in cahoots? I think I know one of the things, and then there's another thing where I'm like, there's a few things that have been mentioned that I'm like, I don't even know, do these even come into play? Like, why were they mentioned? Are they red herrings kind of deal? Are they ever going to come up again? Because there's like some issues that like don't seem resolved. Time to dye the hair. Go with the good dye young, which I've had kind of mixed results with. I have some gripes about their packaging. Hard to read, doesn't tell you the color on it. I finished The Silent Patient, and I feel kind of weird because I did guess. I guessed it halfway through, but then I second guessed myself in all of the different things that were happening, but I kept coming back to like kind of what I thought was happening, and that is what was happening. So now I kind of feel like it wasn't as crazy as I thought it was going to be. I do feel like originally I was thinking, I don't know, maybe the author isn't giving us much, but I feel like I was like, I don't know, I feel like there are things in here, and I feel like I'm on the right path kind of deal. And I was. I will say, what the fuck are the names in this book? I don't know, they just are like kind of weird out there names. They don't make any sense. I will say it hooked me, and I could see where this would be quite the shocking ending, and like I said, it did have me second guessing myself a lot. It wasn't even 4 stars. It was a pretty like enthralling read. It was pretty quick paced. I felt like I was doing a little bit of mental gymnastics, wanting you to feel a little bit like you're losing your mind. I was nervous about how the author was going, to conclude it, and I was a little nervous that we were gonna get another like situation where they were handling a certain type of mental illness not well, but I did feel this one was done better. And it's interesting to me that this was, I think, his first that he chose to just get worse. The Riley Sager type of author. I don't know. That's how I feel. Anyway, I feel like it's a 4 stars, and I can mark that off my list. And I will say there's something about Tempest and Tea that like has taken me, even though it's a heist and it's vampires. I thought that I would be so much more invested, but I haven't gotten invested until like over 100 pages in. Up to that point, I was just kind of like, okay, We're focusing too much on the characters and not so much the story, I feel like. Have I guess gotten that out of the way? We can now focus more so on the actual story. I'm excited to see how it goes, and so many people have told me such good things. I'm guessing a little bit of a love triangle, but I might be wrong. I'm just getting those vibes. When you realize you're the chosen one, I'm the chosen one. Look at this bad boy. Oh, she's just gorgeous. She's gorgeous. I know this is gonna make my breath smell like Doritos for 3 days. Mom and I are going to see Beetlejuice, so I'm gonna put on my favorite. Will you hush? I'm gonna put on my favorite Beetlejuice outfit. These pants and my never trust the living shirt. And then I tuck this in, pull these bad boys all the way up. Now I'm comfy and ready. Last touch. My sandworm purse. Alright, I finished the longest autumn. Also, painted my nails. I did little monarchs with leaves and dewdrops. And it kind of goes. Do you ever read something and you need to talk to the author? Amy, can I call you that? Well, I'm going to. Respectfully, would like to know, what the fuck were you thinking? What is this ending? What is this? Also, let me tell you how surprised I was, because I was like, oh, this ending has me fired up. It has me absolutely enraged. Like, I couldn't stop thinking about it for hours after the fact, and I was like, I need someone to understand this. So I went to look at the reviews, because I was like, someone else has talked about this, right? Turns out, everyone hates this book. It was like 1 and 2 star reviews, a lot of DNFs, and I seem to be the only one who actually enjoyed this book, because at one point I would have given this a 5 stars. I think I'm going to give it 4. So unpopular opinion on this one. So now I don't know if I would actively recommend it to people, because apparently I'm the only person in the world who has enjoyed it until the end. The last 3 pages really fucked with me. This is a much slower paced book, but it starts with a little bit of a mystery, but in true, like, God nature, it's just so much drama happening within the God world, and I just eat that up. It's like, you know, who's scheming with who, and who's betraying who kind of deal, all while having, like, this mystery component of basically who has cursed her. She doesn't know, and so she kind of has to trust and untrust a lot of unlikely people within her life. And this is a bit of a story about, like, how this position consumes her, and her, like, importance for this and her need for this is kind of, like, really wrapped up in this and has, like, consumed her life, essentially. But there was a few times where I'm like, this is kind of giving Cruel Prince vibes. There's multiple, like, love interest kind of deal, which is a point of the book, and I do think it does it well, but a lot of people seem to be turned off by that. I enjoyed it, and there's one character in this that I was rooting for, despite not liking them at the beginning. I need a sequel. And Amy, if you want to call me, I have a lot of ideas to fix the issues that I had within this. It does have a pacing issue, which a lot of people complained about, and I will agree with that. However, I didn't mind it because a lot of mythology books read really slowly, and I was okay with it focusing on different parts of the story and getting more wrapped up in a lot of the relationships and the mystery, because I didn't really go into this thinking originally it was going to be a mystery. There are a lot of hints dropped, and you can kind of figure it out early on, and I feel like our main character is a little foolish, despite everyone being like, you're not foolish, I don't think you're foolish, but she's a little bit foolish in that she doesn't quite see it. But I wonder if that's because she's so wrapped up in so many other things that she doesn't connect it right away. If you do read this and you want to talk about it at that ending, you let me know. because I got things to say. How does this look, Nikki? That's unfortunate. We should change this at some point. Remember how I was talking about the longest patient had terrible names? This one has the opposite. Beautiful names. Love this. Gorgeous names. My mom and I did go shopping today. I'm going to do a little bit of a haul here. Shout out to my mom for buying me a lot of cool shit. Truly a Halloween haul from me if it doesn't include a mug. I got one mug, just one, because the Lord knows I don't need any more, but I love stoneware mugs, and I especially love these like short, really wide mugs, and so this one caught my eye. Very simple. I love a good simple design. Very cute. Got these towels. I believe these are the Target like neon collection, which is about the only collection of Halloween stuff that I've seen so far that I kind of like. I love the Halloween like retro feel, and these feel pretty retro, so I got these hand towels. Got a candle for in the library, which is pumpkin something. Pumpkin, clove, vanilla. It smells really good. Plus, it's a glass jar that I can absolutely reuse when it's all said and done. And then this was in like the $3 bin or whatever, and it's a plastic version, but it does go with like my library theme, and I'm probably gonna put maybe nail supplies, few other home things. This scent from Mrs. Meyer's is my absolute favorite. It's the acorn scent. Always get some hand soap and sprays that I kind of hoard, and I use them for everything because they smell so good. This candle holder, I wish they had more than one because I have some cute candlesticks I need to put up, and I think that is just gorgeous. Also, this big ass acorn. I have an idea for this, where to put this, and it is like solid. It is heavy, and it was only $10, which I thought was pretty good for like a big solid piece of wood at the end of the day. Along kind of similar lines was this glass mushroom. Mushrooms are in, and I'm so excited about it. However, I feel like nothing is quite living up to the mushroom standards that I want, and a lot of it's kind of more, I don't know, farmhousey looking or kind of like cheap looking. This eyeball cutting board, which I will not be using as a cutting board. I will probably hang this up somewhere in my house because I think this is glorious. It is my year of eyeballs. Obsessed with eyeballs. I'll probably also maybe use this for like book prop things and whatnot. I got this pillow, which is a tombstone, and it's glittery. And I'm undecided. I might either put this in here in the library for the season, or I might put this in my stream room on my chair to sit. Speaking of my stream room, I got these neon wall hanging things from Target. I'm very excited about that. I got the pumpkin and the skelly boy. I think these are glorious to hang up. They're easy to hang up. I don't have a lot of space in my stream area. And then I also got these neon bat garland pieces to hang up. And I think those will look really neat, especially when the light, my different lights hit off of them. Completely unrelated to Halloween, but I'm a Budweiser drinker. I've been looking for a Budweiser shirt because I didn't feel like getting a basket, but I did get this basket. I can never, anytime I find ones that are kind of this size, I love putting plant pots in them. Really easy to cover up just like some basic plant pots. Also got elf ears to try out for, I have my Renaissance Fair costume that I'm putting together. And speaking of that, one of the best finds that I had of the day was this acorn purse. It's glorious. One, I can use it, you know, as storage when I'm not using it in an outfit, but I think this is going to go great with my Ren Fair outfit. And it opens up and everything, and I think it's going to be glorious. I might add a strap so I can kind of, like, I don't have to carry it the whole time. And then what I think was the best find of the whole day, I came across this accidentally. I could only find this one, and I'm so glad they did. I love wearing lime green and black most of the time. It's one of my favorite combos. And again, it's the year of eyeballs for me. So this is a $5 tote bag from Walmart. And I think it's the most glorious thing. Oh my god, I'm so excited to use this. Anyway, that was my quick Halloween haul. And also, that signals the end of this vlog, actually. So let's do a wrap up of the reading. I forgot to tell you all too, the Beetlejuice was like, it was fun. I enjoyed it. There was a few plotline things that I was like, this is, why did we include this? A little bit of a letdown on those things, but for the most part, it was an enjoyable watch. Demon in the Wood. I don't think I did an update on this because it was a really quick read. It's part of the Greg universe. As soon as you start, if you've read any of that series, you kind of know exactly whose origin story you're reading from, and I did think this was a really interesting outlook on the origin story of this character, and I really enjoyed the art, and I think I'm going to give this a 4 stars. It's not like necessary to understand the series, but it's fun if you are a lover of the series. That was part of my spring semester, so then I could move on to the fall semester. I think the first thing that I finished was We Used to Live Here. I originally was like, I'm going to start this, but then I was like, oh, maybe I'll buddy read it with Gabby and Ashley, but then I finished it basically in one day. Again, I'm not really going to tell you all the details. I've kind of given you an overview already, how I felt about this. It was exhausting. I'm not going to give you a star rating, but there it is. I finished that one. Then I finished The Silent Patient, kind of like a psychiatrist, therapist, who becomes kind of obsessed with this woman who apparently killed her husband. That is what the story says. And after that, she just stopped speaking. And it's years later, and he decides he's going to be the one that gets her to talk. And I gave this 4 stars. It unravels the story, I think, in a pretty engaging manner. It slowly puts the pieces together. Everyone's giving a bunch of different stories that you're kind of just like, I don't really know who to believe. Who is unreliable here? Who has the motives? What has really happened? I kind of get the hype around it. I do. I don't know if it would be like a favorite to me, but I do think I would recommend this to people pretty confident in that they would enjoy it, despite the fact that it has pretty mixed reviews. I think it depends on how many thrillers and mysteries that you read, whether or not you would actually enjoy that. And I finished The Longest Autumn as well. And as we know, I am the only person in the world who enjoyed this. I will say, something I'm going to give this book credit for is that it has sex. A lot of sex scenes in it, honestly. But I think this is the way I prefer sex scenes to be described. It's not quite fade to black, but it's not overly detailed. You kind of understand what's happening. It has just enough to be, like, satisfying, I guess, to read about. I did enjoy some of the things that this was, like, trying to say about loving yourself and basically taking the time to evolve and become the best version of yourself and understanding when something is no longer good for you. But at the same time, this just didn't end in the way that I wanted it to be satisfying. I'm still going to give this 4 stars. So far, this has been a really good reading vlog. Confident about all these things that I picked to read. Am I starting to understand my taste? I am still in the middle of Tempest and Tea. I am enjoying it. I am also still in the middle of Everyone on this Train is a Suspect, which is next, I believe, on my list to finish. And I'm really enjoying this. I just love these types of books, honestly, where it's kind of like author has given you all of the things that you need to know about the mystery and kind of breaking fourth wall and just being like, hey, this is going to happen on this page and this is going to happen at this amount of time things. And I just love these. They're kind of like puzzle books in my opinion. So really enjoying that. And then the 2 that I haven't started, Grown and The Phoenix Crown. I need an audiobook and I feel like this is the one I want to go with. This is definitely one I would listen to over anything. I feel good that I only have 4 more things to finish for the magical readathon, and I'm halfway through 2 of them and only have 2 other ones. And based on the way I've been reading, the pace of which I've been reading, I feel like that's pretty doable before the end of the month. Oh my god, what time is it? I'm gonna be late for movie night. Okay, bye! It's not movie night in the Discord though, so see you in the next one.